If you're looking for a challenging and rewarding career, a freight dispatcher might be a perfect choice. It is a profession that requires a great deal of organization and attention to detail. It can be very demanding, but it also offers many opportunities for advancement. This video will provide tips to help you succeed as a freight dispatcher. What is a freight dispatcher? A freight dispatcher is responsible for making sure freight shipments arrive at their destinations on time and in good condition. They coordinate with carriers, drivers, customers, and other stakeholders to ensure the successful delivery of freight. In addition, they are responsible for keeping records of all shipment information, confirming orders, and maintaining communication with all parties involved. As a freight dispatcher, you will work with various dispatch service providers. These organizations offer freight dispatching services to companies and customers according to their specific needs. To succeed in this role, you need to familiarize yourself with the different dispatch service providers available in your area and stay up to date on their freight rates and services. Freight brokers are also an essential part of freight dispatching. Brokers work with shippers, carriers, and freight forwarders to arrange shipments according to their customers' needs. They are responsible for finding the best freight rates and ensuring that every shipment is delivered on time. Roles of a freight dispatcher. There are plenty of responsibilities freight dispatchers have to take on. From coordinating freight pickups and deliveries to scheduling routes, freight dispatchers keep the transportation business running like a machine. Here are a few of the freight dispatchers' roles. Monitor freight shipments. Freight dispatchers must ensure freight is routed correctly and on time. They must track freight shipments, anticipate delays, and adjust as needed. Coordinate with drivers. Freight dispatchers work closely with drivers to optimize their routes, providing them with freight destinations and updated route plans. Prepare freight documents. Freight dispatchers must observe regulations and prepare documents to ensure freight shipment compliance. They may also have to file freight claims in the event of lost or damaged freight. Control costs. Dispatchers are tasked with finding the most cost-effective freight routing options so companies can reduce freight costs. They are also responsible for scheduling freight pickups, deliveries, and informing customers of any changes affecting their shipment's arrival time. Forecast freight needs. Lastly, freight dispatchers must stay up to date on freight needs and anticipate freight volume changes to avoid freight congestion. Every freight dispatcher must be organized, detail-oriented, and capable of making decisions quickly to manage freight shipments efficiently. If you have what it takes, get out there and start dispatching. Types of freight dispatcher. There are a few different freight dispatcher roles to choose from. If you're looking for a career in freight dispatching, you may want to consider the following. Local freight dispatcher. This type of freight dispatcher will typically make local routes and coordinate the transportation of goods from one location to another within a city or region. OTR freight dispatcher. This type of freight dispatcher is responsible for planning and coordinating long-distance freight runs, sometimes across state lines. Air freight dispatcher. As the name implies, this freight dispatcher will coordinate air freight shipments. It involves careful coordination between the different parties involved with air freight transport, truck dispatchers, and owner-operators. This type of freight dispatcher will liaison between truck drivers and companies to ensure that freight is delivered on time. Independent dispatchers. These are freight dispatchers who work on a freelance or contract basis. They typically offer services to freight companies and owner-operators, arranging freight pickups and deliveries quickly and efficiently. Fleet managers. They are freight dispatchers who ensure that a company's truck and driver fleet runs efficiently and safely. They will coordinate freight runs, monitor truck maintenance, and keep track of delivery times. No matter which freight dispatcher role you choose, you'll need excellent communication skills, a knack for problem solving, and an understanding of how the freight industry works. If you're up for the challenge, freight dispatching may be just your career. Keeping track of freight shipments is no easy task. But with the right freight dispatcher on your team, you can rest assured that all freight will be delivered on time. Aside from having the right freight dispatch team, you can also keep track of freight shipments with the right freight management software. Using freight tracking software can help you keep track of freight in real time to stay on top of delivery and ensure your freight is always delivered on time. Here's one helpful tool that helps you monitor your shipments. Affiliate disclaimer. Freight Chain is supported by our viewers. When you purchase through links on our site, we may earn an affiliate commission that helps keep our website and its content. Thank you. Learn more. Motive is the perfect solution for ensuring your delivery goes off without a hitch. With their easy-to-use app, drivers can track hours and get an inspection report on their device. No more wasted time or stressed-out customers. Check out Motive today. To learn more about the freight industry, check out our previous video. What do you need to be a freight dispatcher? Before you can begin working as a freight dispatcher, you must have the right skills and qualifications. Let's see what freight dispatchers need to be successful in their positions. Knowledge of freight transport regulations. Freight dispatchers must understand relevant freight regulations, such as those governing insurance coverage, shipping times, and fuel taxes. Outstanding communication skills. Freight dispatchers are responsible for coordinating with numerous stakeholders and ensuring that goods are delivered on time and in satisfactory condition. They must be able to communicate effectively and handle difficult conversations with ease. Proactive attitude. Freight dispatchers must be able to anticipate potential issues and take action to prevent them from occurring. Problem-solving aptitude. Freight dispatchers need to be able to identify and solve any problems that arise quickly. Attention to detail. Freight dispatchers must pay close attention to the details of shipments to ensure accurate delivery. Computer proficiency. Freight dispatchers must be comfortable using computers and related software to track shipments, update records, and communicate with customers. Logistics and transportation experience can also benefit freight dispatchers, as it will allow them to understand freight operations and the industry better. If you have the skills needed to be a freight dispatcher, why not pursue a career in this exciting field? To learn more about logistics jobs, check out our previous video. Tips for success as a freight dispatcher. Trucking companies and motor carriers rely on freight dispatchers to coordinate freight movement, including shipments and deliveries. To be successful as a freight dispatcher, you must have excellent communication skills, organizational ability, and problem-solving know-how. Here are some tips that can help. Have an eagle eye for details. Attention to detail is essential for freight dispatchers. You will need to keep track of orders, shipments, and delivery schedules, among other things. Communicate effectively. Good communication skills are a must for freight dispatchers. You'll be talking with customers, truck drivers, and supervisors daily, so make sure you know how to listen and respond appropriately. Think on your feet. You never know when a freight shipment or delivery is wrong. When it does, freight dispatchers need to come up with solutions quickly and calmly. Being able to problem solve in these situations will make you invaluable to freight companies. Multitask efficiently. Freight dispatchers juggle multiple tasks at once, so learning how to manage your workload is key. Having strong organizational skills and the ability to prioritize will help you get everything done in a timely manner. How much do freight dispatchers make? Every trucking company is different, and freight dispatcher salaries vary depending on the size of the company, its location, and what kind of freight it hauls. Generally speaking, freight dispatchers make between $30,000 and $50,000 a year. However, some of them can make as many as six figures. The trucking industry offers excellent opportunities for freight dispatchers willing to invest the time, effort, and dedication required. To learn more about the best paying jobs in transportation, check out our previous video. Final thoughts. Freight dispatchers are an important part of the freight and shipping industry, helping to ensure that freight is delivered promptly and efficiently. The freight dispatcher is responsible for managing shipments from start to finish. They must be knowledgeable about the freight and shipping process and able to negotiate rates with carriers, track shipments, and handle emergencies. Being a freight dispatcher requires patience and organization. Still, it can be a gratifying job that allows you to play an integral role in the freight industry. Delivery routes, freight rates, carrier availability, and other details all factor into the dispatcher's job. It takes a particular type of person to succeed in this role, but if you have what it takes, freight dispatching may be the perfect career for you. Now that you know more about freight dispatchers, why consider taking your freight career to the next level? Thank you for checking out this freight dispatcher guide. We hope you feel more informed and inspired to start your freight dispatcher career. Good luck and happy shipping. Disclaimer: Freight Chain provides educational content only. It should not be taken as professional advice. You should always consult a freight shipping expert before making any decisions.